Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. We have seen in the previous verse, that is verse number 9, association with good thoughts is very important, because our nature of the mind is extrovertedness. It always looks for pleasures from outside sources again and again, more and more, and therefore it is important that we consciously take our mind to the sources of inspiration. So it is even in your profession, if you want to excel in your own profession, you need to make sure that you associate with people who are in that profession. Then only you can learn the skills, you can learn the nuances, you can learn the techniques of how to handle various situations. In the same way, it is necessary for us to learn about how to take care of this mind, which is extrovert, outgoing, indulgent, into turning within, to go within. How is it possible without any training? It's necessary that we need to give some amount of training to the mind. So those people who have already trained themselves to turn within, they are the people who can tell you the pitfalls that are there. What happens, and when you do not correctly, what are the possible things, the dangers that you encounter, what are the means to overcome certain difficulties, etc. So therefore, satsanga is a very important part of a person's spiritual life. Satsangate nissangatvam, then nissangatve nirmohatvam. Only when there is this ability to turn the mind with the correct thoughts, the effect of delusion will be less and less. It's like creating enough immunity in the body. So even if you are in the presence of things that are subject to cause you enough physical sickness, you will be immune. That is possible only when you have the spiritual immunity. So spiritual immunity is through spiritual community. Then nirmohatve nischalatatvam. When the mind is steady and able to withstand all the external pressures, then there is nischalatatvam, steadiness in your thinking. Steadiness in thinking means there is certain amount of ability to maintain certain mental quietude, peace. Nischalatatve jivan muktihi. Ultimately, one realizes the highest truth through that. So having said this, next point is, what we are today is because of whatever we have done in the past. Our present is decided by mostly what we have done in the past. If you take yourself on a daily basis and watch yourself carefully, just one day you do it. Just watch yourself very closely, observe yourself and see what are the things you do, what are the things you think about. You will realize that most of the things are repetitive. Action as well as thoughts. Nothing new actually we do unless there is a situation to do something so. Otherwise, our routine is constantly the same. Get up in the morning and then prepare for the day and then eat a breakfast quickly and then go to the class. In your case, I'm telling you. Go to the class and listen to the lectures and come back and prepare for your projects or prepare for your papers, read in the library, come back to the room and then relax for some time, get ready for the next class and go there and do this. A weekend comes, relax and then go and dance somewhere and then, for some party or the other, get exhausted, come back home. Get in the whole Sunday you sleep and the next morning again, Monday you start. So, what happens is that our present is decided by the past most of the times. If anything new has to happen, we should start thinking different. Before we start doing anything different, there should be a process of thinking that has to happen. Without that, doing something will be temporary. Doing something new will be temporary. So for which sake, there should be a change in the lifestyle, which includes change in the way we think. This is essentially is what Shankaracharya is trying to establish. Think differently. Think out of the box. Think little higher. Then only you will see that things change in your life. If we go by the routine, why we go by the routine? Because everybody around us do the same thing. There's nobody doing differently. So everybody is doing the same thing and everybody is like a sheep. They are consistently moving towards the same thing. So if you see any leader or any successful person, if you ask what gave you success, that person will say, surely, I did think differently. At one point of time, I changed my course of action, course of thinking, without which nothing new will happen. Our Swami Tejamanji would say, if you keep doing what you have been doing, you keep getting what you have been getting. There's nothing different will come. So every day is the same. Every day is the same and therefore we get very bored. After some time you will find that, oh, it's so boring. Every day is the same thing. Now who decides this? You, the world, or anything else? You will find that it squarely rests upon you. The world is what it is. It's a field of experience. It's a field where we are given a chance to explore. So the field is the same for a saint as well as a sinner. An intelligent person, wise, otherwise also. It is the same. So why is that a person of wisdom is able to enjoy the life much better than a person otherwise? A person of less knowledge is suffering in this world, while in the same world, a man of greater knowledge enjoys. How is that? It is because there is the way of thinking changed. Now here, Shankaracharya gives a beautiful explanation or example with three different things. Now you see in that verse number 10. Vayasigate kaha kama vikarah शुष्के नीरे कह का सारः क्षीणे वित्ये कह परिवारः ज्ञाते तत्त्वे कह संसारः भज गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि रक्षति डुकृन् करणे. When you have become old, where is the question of exploring into more desireful things? What makes us go into indulgence is our sense organs are active, extrovert, full of energy. See, I have for the past 2 days, I'm under the weather, right? I could see myself clearly. My intention to go out, intention to, do anything extra than what I'm doing is much less. Why? My faculties are slow now. Because of the being under the weather, it's a little painful, little whatever not. So it is more tired because of the viral fever or whatever it is. It's a little tired. So what happens, as and when possible, I just relax, just to get over it. No, when the physical faculties are not up to the mark, their power is less, or their extrovertedness is less, their energy to go out is less, then you will find that you do not have interest in these things. So in the same way, as we age, the ability of the sense organs, ability of the energy that is available for the sense organs, or the extroverted nature naturally comes down, not because you don't want, you cannot. You understand? It's not that you don't want, but you cannot because your sense organs would not support it. As your faculty is becoming weaker and weaker, even when you want to do something, the sense organs will deny it. They fail. So, vayasi gate, when you have become old, when the age is past, where is the lust and its play? All these are all because the physical body is energetic, robust, youth, young, extroverted. So, therefore, there are some people saying that they cannot hear me. So, I say, can you guys hear him? Nope. Unlike unable to hear. Nope. Just see. You're not able to hear?
Your line is now muted. Your line is now unmuted.
You're not able to hear? Yes or no? You're able to hear? Done. Here I think there is no problem with that. Just stream. No. Say no. Please switch to chinmayachannel.com. No,
Chinmaya channel.
then give, because it will become too big. Okay. So here what we find is when the age has passed, when the youthfulness is past, where is the question of lust and play? Because what makes us physically active and extrovert and indulging is our youthfulness, or the faculties of the sense organs, etc. are very active, etc. It is similar to when the water is gone, water is dried up, where is the question of lake or a pond? Pond or a lake are considered to be considered to be lake or pond only when there is water. When the water is not there, it's only a huge open place. There's no water there. That happens in most of the places here. There's no water at all, obviously, in LA. So we see huge area of land. It's supposed to be a river. Absolutely nothing. Clean. You can have a jolly ride, a shortcut to any place you want to go. So, Shushke Nire, when the water has dried up, Kahas Kasaraha, where is the lake? Kshine Vitte, when your money is gone, Kaha Parivarha, where are your relatives? So, Shankaracharya is trying to show that if X is there, A is there, B is there. If youthfulness is there, lust and play is there. If water is there, lake is there. If wealth is there, relatives are there. If there is absence of knowledge is there, then there is bondage. Jnate tattve kaha samsaraha. In the absence of ignorance, the absence of not knowing yourself, meaning in the presence of in the presence of knowledge, where is the question of bondage? Because it is said, bondage is nothing but absence of thinking. The story that is usually said, and I don't know whether I told this before, There was a Gurukul. Did I say about this before? I'm not sure. Where the students were taken to graze the cows, etc. No? Okay. So the students have every day morning after their morning chanting and other thing, puja and everything is over, the teacher would say, come on, take the cows in the ancient times. Take the cows and go and graze them in the grass fields. So all of them would take every day the cows and other cattle. They go out there and then graze them and the open field. They spend time in contemplation because whatever is taught in the morning, they will start thinking about it while they are, with the nature. They are, the cows are grazing and they will sit in one place and contemplate upon what is taught to them in deep. In their deep mind, they will go on thinking about it, chewing the ideas. Now, it so happened one day, as they have taken the cows to graze, it so happened that suddenly it started raining, pouring down. So much before their expected time, expected duration, they have to start back to the ashram very quickly. So they all came running, completely wet, completely drenched. They all came back, quickly put the cows in the shed and went into the ashram, into their abode, and then dried themselves and then ate their dinner and then went to sleep. Next morning is a bright, beautiful day. They got up and then finished their morning chores and then came to the shed of where the cattle were, and then they started trying to take the cattle away to go for grazing. None of them would move. So then they were wondering, hey, come on, move. No, they won't move. They were all standing in the same place. They will not budge from where they are. Standing completely rooted on the floor. So they pulled and pulled and pulled. No, none of them would move. So they were worried what's happened to them. They are not intelligent beings. They cannot decide on whether to go or not. How is that? Every day we take them and now today it doesn't go. They don't come. So they went and reported to the Guru saying that, these cows are acting funny today. They are not coming for grazing. We are trying our best, but they won't move away from their place. The Guru smiled and asked, did you untie them? What do you mean? Did you untie them from the pole in which they were tied? Oh, actually we didn't tie them yesterday. Because of the rain, we came running. We put them in the shed and came running into the ashram, and we didn't tie them at all. Okay. So why should we untie them? Go back to the shed where the cattle are and untie them. But we just do the act of untying. So they all wonder, what is the reason to untie them when they are not even tied? Anyway, they went and mockingly, they started doing the gesture of untying each one of them. As soon as they finished untying, they all started moving. So you wonder, what is this? So they went there and went to graze the cows, and then went to the grass field, and then went on and on. And then it's like every day they came back to the ashram, and first thing they did is tie them. And then they came to the Guru. We have a question. What is your question? What is the point in untying them when they are not even tied? The Guru smiled and said, you know that. Do they know it? You know that they are not tied. Do they know that they are not tied? Because everyday routine that they have is you tie them. Is it not? Every day you tie them at the end of the day. So their mental frame is what? Every day night you will be tied. Whether you tie it or not, it's a different question. They do not even think about it because they are not intelligent enough to think about it. So therefore you have to do the gesture of untying. Only then they know they are untied. So it may look funny to you, but that is a fact with all of us. We think we are bound, but actually we are not. Our bondage is only superficial or illusory. But when we do not know that it is illusion, we are under the illusion, we are constantly caught up in the idea of bondage. Now, who is physically binding you? Is anybody binding you physically here? No. Thank God we are in a democratic country. So therefore, no government is sitting outside with a gun making you do things. That is also not there. So we are living in a society which is democratic. We are living in a culture which is democratic. We are living in a life that is not dictated by anybody else. But where is the bondage really? Why we are dictated by our own mind? Because that is our habit. Just like the cows, due to habit, they have been thinking that they are tied, and therefore you do the mocking of or the gesture of untying, then only they will feel released. In the same way, there is a need for us to understand that the bondage is like that of the rope that is tying the cows, which is actually not tied at all. So bondage is in our own mind, in the way we think. That is the reason he says, Jnate tattve, when you understand the essence of you, kaha samsara, where is this bondage? So this release from bondage, breaking the bondage is not an happening that has to happen at one day. Suddenly one day I am free. That is not going to happen. It's a gradual process of untying yourself, unwinding yourself. We have wound ourselves with so many things, likes and dislikes and preferences and prejudices and then strong, opinion, everything they are all tying us so much. To come out of it is not a one-day job. It is not going to happen all of a sudden. We have to observe ourselves carefully. What are the things which I am bound to? That's why I said, when you start observing yourself, you realize that my own mind, my own thoughts, my own emotion, my own feelings, my own prejudices and opinions and likes and dislikes and whatnot is tying me down. We are not looking at things as they are. We look at the thing as we would like it to be. Our habits, our past play a very important role in the way we get bound. So let us say that you go to a shop, go to a restaurant. What you would eat there is decided by whom? There is a menu that is available to you. Or you go to any shop there. Let us say that you go to a mall. There are so many things that are there in the mall. What you need to buy is decided by you. By whom? You, right? You are the one who is going to decide based upon the money that you have, based upon the need that you have. So will be you purchasing whatever you want to buy. The mall is available for everybody. All varieties of things are there. What you would like to buy is depend upon you and not decided by anybody else. In the same way, the world is not to be condemned at all. This is the standpoint of Vedanta. The world is a beautiful expression of the Lord Himself. He gives you a field to experience. But if you consider yourself bound, it is not because of the world, it is because of my approach to the world. So once you realize that bondage is caused by my own wrong thinking, only by right thinking I can come out of it. So when the right thinking takes place, where is the question of samsara? Samsara means a self-created bondage. And the word samsara in Sanskrit means samyak sarati, continuously moving, constantly moving, change. So what is bondage? It's a constant change that causes so much of misery. Like if you look at yourself, let us say you are born in somewhere in the 80s or 90s, right? So when you are born, what was your size of the body? Now after 20 years, what is the size of your body? It has changed so much, right? Similarly, your mind, the things that you were thinking when you were 10-year-old or 5-year-old is different from what your preferences of priorities of thinking today. It's changed. The dress that you wear changed. The food that you eat changed. The friends that you have changed. And the kind of entertainment that you like to have, that is changed. The kind of books that you read changed. The kind of places you would like to go, changed. Everything is constantly under change. That is called samsara. But this change we need not become the victim of the change. Once you become the victim of the change, that is when you are called a samsari. Change cannot be stopped. But whether you want to be a victim of the change or an enjoyer of the change is depending upon you. So like for example, a child which is, let us say, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, looking up to his or her own elder brother or sister, it wants to grow up. I want to grow. So 10, 15-year-old, the fellow wants to grow and he wants to do things like his brother does. He wants to go and play like his brother or sister does. Up to the age 20, 25. Afterwards, I want to stop. You cannot stop. You cannot remain 18, 20. You have to further grow. And when you further grow, you will find that the change is unavoidable. After some time, your growth stops, physical growth stops, and then the middle age starts. The middle age means you start becoming aged. So where you cannot eat the way you have been, you cannot do things that you have been doing. There is a little amount of slowing down in your intake, your digestion process, your ability to work, your energy level goes down. So why? Because that is a part of the change. The change can victimize you if you do not know the purpose of your existence. If you realize that in spite of all the changes that are taking place at the physical level, at the emotional level, at the world level, I remain constant. My awareness remains constant. My being, my life, myself is constant. This realization, when you have, the change will not victimize you. This is the idea of giving these examples. Like when the water is gone, where is the lake? When the wealth is gone, where are your relatives? When the youth is gone, where is your lusty play? When the knowledge is gone, where is this bondage? Such a beautiful idea. Now you see, water, when it is full, then it is called as a lake, right? When does it dry up? In the scorching heat of the sun. Or somebody drains it away. Wealth. When wealth is there, people are around you. When wealth is gone, nobody bothers about you. Right? Third example. When the youth is gone, there is no more lust and indulgence. Now taking this cue from here, in the next verse he says, do not ever become proud about your wealth, your people, your youth. Because, as he says, they are subject to disappearing anytime. Youth will disappear at some point of time, you cannot stop it. Wealth will be there today and tomorrow it may not be there. Similarly, your abilities, your people around you may be there, may not be there. Understand they are part of the samsara. Samsara means, as I told you, change. So they are part of the change. So they never be proud and arrogant about wealth, arrogant about people, arrogant about your youth. If you are arrogant about them, you will be really, you will have to become very sorry after some time. Because knowingly you are getting caught up in a bondage of change. Meaning they are subject to go away, they are subject to change, they are not permanent, they are temporary, and therefore holding on to them as real is utter foolishness. So therefore in the next verse, Shankaracharya moves on to the idea that never be proud of all these things. Ma kuru dana jana yauvana garvam harati nimeshat khalah sarvam maya mayam idam akilam buddva brahmapadam tvam pravisha viditva bhaja govindam govindam bhaja mudhamate samprapte sannihite kale nahi rakshati dukrin karane. Dana jana yauvana garvam makuru. Makuru, don't. What? Garvam makuru. Never be proud of. Never become egoistic about what? Dana, wealth. Jana, people. Yavana, youth. See, what makes an individual arrogant is either he is wealthy or he is supported by too many people or that he is youth. As far as the youth is concerned, that's what we see. They don't want to listen to anybody. At some point of time, you have also done that, right? When your parents are saying something, okay, don't do this, do this. I know, mom. You are at a different older generation. I know what to do. So that is the arrogance of the youth. Meaning, you want to always explore something. You want to do something on your own and sometimes dangerous things. So people who have experience tell you, hey, don't do it. It is not good for you. No, I want to do it and find out myself. Do it. You'll be wasting a lot of time. And finally come to same conclusion with others have arrived. Why not you learn yourself? Of course, doing something differently, exploring new possibility is good. But do not tread the dangerous path. When you know that it is dangerous, there is no need for you to explore and find yourself a victim of that. Similarly, when a person is full of wealth or position, etc., you see politicians, actors and other things, when they have so much of wealth, they indulge, they are youthful, they are indulged, they go to drugs and they do this and they have wrong relationships and all those things. And finally, when everything is lost, either the wealth is lost or the youthfulness is lost, they commit suicide also. Why? They cannot face. Their lifestyle is so high, wanting to do things with the high, elite, choices. They go in the stay in the only 5-star hotels and eat only in the such high priced food, etc. And then go in first class only, in business class only, wear only the, what do you call that? Clothes which are, what is that called? Branded clothes only. And so all these things are fine. When? So long as you have. When you do not have that, you have to fall down very, very miserably. And they cannot. They cannot live a simple lifestyle. That is what is the curse of this part of the world. They just cannot simplify their life. Impossible. Simplification of life is considered as it is considered as a wrong thing to do. Whereas back in the Eastern culture, simplification of life is considered as the wise thing to do. You see, the simpler you are, better you enjoy things. The complex you are, less you enjoy things, right? See, for example, if somebody is smiling at you, you smiling back is a simple thing. Why is he smiling at me? Must have something planned. He must want something out of me. He has done something out of something which I should agree upon. I think he wants something which I have and I do not want it. All sort of complexities. Simplification of life in the lifestyle, in the things that you do, in the things that you explore, and or things that you want to enjoy. Simply, the nature is so plenty. Why not you go and just look at the beauty and innocence of this nature? We don't. There's so much plenty is available in every part of the world. Go and enjoy this innocence of the nature. We do all complex things. We go to the movies, we go to the headache and come back and whatnot. Why not just simplify your life? Why not have simple food? Why you want to complicate your stomach? But as Swamiji, you are talking like an old man. You go through that and you will realize and you will come back. I am guaranteeing it now. It is not the question of youth or old. It is not that point. But you start looking at the simplicity of life and you will realize that one can be simple. So when a person is proud about Dana, Jana, Yavana, wealth, people and youth, one is subject to become miserable because these are under constant change. Youth you are right now, in another 5-6 years, that youthfulness will not be there. Wealth that you may have now or you may acquire later, but understand that also is temporary. Similarly, people with you who are there because of you are able to provide them what they want or you are able to entertain them the way they want, So long as you entertain them, they are there. When you say that I don't have any more money and I cannot afford to live like you, gone they are. Ma guru dana jana yauvana garvam harati nimeshat kalaha sarvam. Kalaha sarvam nimeshat harati. Time will take it away very soon. See, nowadays we see the concept, the onset of cancer can be on anybody, anytime, any part of the body. Right? You cannot say, one may be youth, one may be old, one may be healthy, one may be unhealthy, one may be rich or poor. Doesn't matter. Why? Because, see, these things are unknown and unpredictable. You cannot understand why it is happening. Oh, that person is so healthy, Swamiji. Every day he was going for running and jogging. Brain tumor or this and that, liver cancer or some cancer, gone. Within 6 months, gone. Within no time. So, life itself is so uncertain. One may say, Swamiji, because life is uncertain, why not enjoy everything? One will find that you are inviting more trouble by indulging only. So, therefore, everything will be gone within no time. Arasdi nimeshat kalasar. Now, for example, natural tragedies also. Can you predict them? Nepal, you look at it. Who thought that such a tragedy in the massive scale will ever happen? Can anybody predict it? Can anybody even imagine that it will happen? But is it not that within few minutes, gone? Thousands and thousands of people are gone. So this unpredictability is so high. As long as you are alive and kicking, enjoy the simplicity of life so that the complexities you create yourself does not victimize you. And understand that, see, tragedies and comedies of life is unavoidable. Good and bad happening in your life, unavoidable. Success and failure, unavoidable. Gain and loss, that is also unavoidable. So, they are there. So, as we walk in our life, we will find some people are dear to us, some people are hating us, some people listen to what you say, some people do not want to your company, somebody do not want to even see you, somebody want to like you have your company all the time. Is it not that you have to start watching? You will find what an amount of variety of experiences. Unpredictable they are. So, the unpredictability is the nature of this whole existence. This unpredictability is referred as Maya. You do not know why, and you do not know when, and you do not know what. See, the very word Maya is that Ya Ma Sa Maya. That which is not, but is there. You cannot logically explain why it is so. But that is the fact of things. So, when we see that the whole creation is an unpredictable movement of things, nobody can say what it is and why it is and how it is and where it is and what it is. What it is. That is called the power of Maya. So, in the religious parlance, Maya is considered to be the power of God. In the religions, especially in the Hindu religion, the Maya, meaning the one which makes this whole creation possible, all the things possible, is called the power of God, Maya. So that is worshipped as three powers. The power of knowledge is known as Saraswati. The power of wealth is known as Lakshmi. The power of dissolution is known as Shakti. These three powers. And these three powers can operate only when there is the individual, there is this power which can operate that. There is this God aspect which can use this power. Therefore, Brahma is considered as the creator. The creator can use the knowledge and make this whole world possible. Therefore, Brahma has the power of knowledge to create the world. Therefore, Brahma's Maya is Saraswati. Vishnu, the sustainer, is the one who sustains to maintain the world, he needs the power of wealth. And therefore, Vishnu's Maya is Lakshmi. Shiva needs the power of destruction, dissolution, for to dissolve the world. Therefore, Shiva's Maya is Shakti. Understand the concept? So the Maya is the power inherently residing in the God concepts, using which alone this creation is. Creation, sustenance and dissolution. Therefore, we worship these three Devis, that is Saraswati, Lakshmi and Shakti, as the three inherent powers used by Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva respectively for maintaining this world. So, in the religious concept, religious parlance, they are considered as the powers. Right? Now, when it comes to Vedanta, this whole creation itself is valid only when, so long as you see it. I am going to little seriously go into this concept. So pay attention to this. The whole creation, according to Vedanta, is, so long as you see it, it is there. When you stop seeing it, it's not there. Like for example, you go to the state of dream. When you, at the end of this talk, etc., you go and lie down on the bed and then slowly go into the state of dream. In the dream, you have many things you see. So many things that you have created out of in your dream. So in the dream, whatever you see is valid and real so long as you are a dreamer. Once the dream ends, you go to the state of sleep, deep sleep. The dream experiences gets dissolved along with the dreamer. So the dreamer, the dream, the dreaming, everything ends. So in the state of sleep, sleeper, sleeping, sleep. That is taking place in the state of sleep. That ends when you wake up. So waker, waking and the wakeful experience. So the waker, the you, the waking world, the waking experience, and then the field in which you wake up. So in Vedanta we say the waking experience is different from dream experience. Dream experience is different from sleep experience. Sleep experience is different from, again, waking and dream. So that means these are temporarily going on and on and on and on. We don't question it because we never question it. That is all it is. These are also part of the same Maya only. At the cosmic level, the creation. At the individual level, it's our own creation. So only when you are awake to this world has validity. When you move and fold yourself into the state of dream, this world has no relevance to you. Except that your body is seen by others. That is all it is. In your world, none of us exists. You see that a dream, in the dream you are on your own. You are dreaming and you are experiencing your dream. None of us can participate. And as far as we are concerned, you are just lying down there. And as you go to the deeper sleep experience, none of us can participate. And again, as far as we are concerned, you are just lying down there. So just like a waker cannot enter into the dream without renouncing the wakerhood, the dreamer cannot enter into the sleep state without losing the dreamerhood, dreamer state. And the sleeper cannot enter into the waking again, not without renouncing the sleephood. Similarly, when we want to understand our higher nature, we need to necessarily renounce our present state of experiences and start questioning it. Here, questioning does not mean reject it, renounce it. No. Not physically. But mentally, you must start renouncing the reality of it. And how do you renounce the reality of it? Know it to be Maya, illusion. Now, giving an example simply for you. I have given this example before also. For a long period of time, people consider that sunrise and sunset takes place. But on scientific inquiry, they found sun never rises, sun never sets. How did they come to know? Is it not by inquiry? They wanted to inquire, is really sun is rising and setting? Or something else is happening? So when they inquired, they found out that really sun doesn't set or rise. It is earth is that is moving. So only on inquiry into a phenomenon which is perceived by my senses, enjoyed by the mind, no doubt, perceived by the senses, they started questioning, is it true? Similarly, blue sky. Is it really blue? When they started inquiring. When they inquired scientifically, they found the blueness is not really the nature of the sky. So only on inquiry you will find the truth. Similarly, how valid is this waking experience? How valid is my dream experience? How valid is my sleep experience? Though I go through it, is it real? Is it not temporary? So when start inquiring, you realize that we take it for granted what is being experienced by us, but not necessarily it is the truth. So inquiry into the truth necessarily makes you realize that what we have been going through is a temporary experience. This temporary experience is called Maya. In the phenomenal world, Maya is a power. Power, because the creation has to be explained, therefore Brahma has the power of creation, Vishnu has the power of maintenance, and Shiva has the power of dissolution. But when we start inquiring Vedantic understanding, we realize that all of these are at the level of our relativity, it is all subject to change, constant change. It is an illusion, it is a temporary. Now that is the only way to explain how to get out of it. Because if it is true, if the waking experience is true, you will never be able to experience dream. If dream is true, you will never get into sleep. If sleep is true, you never wake up. It's because they are temporary, you are able to go to the next level. From one level of consciousness, you are able to move to the next level of consciousness. The dream experience, dream consciousness is discarded. Only then you go to the sleep consciousness. And sleep consciousness is discarded, then only you come to the waking consciousness. Right? So the shift of consciousness is possible only when you recognize their temporary nature. So having said this, Maya is a very interesting topic in Vedanta. Why? Because, as I said, gave the example of that cows not moving. It is because they are caught up in the illusion of being tied. Since because they have caught up in the illusion of being tied, they are not able to come out of it. But on inquiry, if they can only inquire, am I really tied? No, then why should I not go? The cows should have definitely moved out. But they didn't. Why? Because they did not have the faculty to think. They inquire. That was not there in them. Whereas you and I, having the faculty to question, inquire, to find out, we don't do it, how better we are than the cows then? The cows are tied with the rope onto the pole, we are tied with our own mind into the world. That's all the difference. So we don't inquire and there we get caught. So it is necessary that we start inquiring this question. See, the Maya is a very interesting concept. Why? Because it explains a situation only to bring you a solution and it will disappear. Maya is an explanation of why the world is what it is. Once you get to the solution of liberation, you will find Maya has not been there at all. Now, let me give an example. It's a usual story that is given, There was a rich person who had 17 horses. He had 17 horses. And this man who has a lot of wealth, he had 3 sons. And the elder one, more responsible, the younger one, little less, and the youngest one, much less. So therefore, he decided to give 1/2 of his wealth to the first son, 1/3 to his second son, 1/9 to his third son. one half, one third, and one ninth of all the things that he had. Everything was given away in the same way, one half to the first son, one third to the second son, one ninth is the third son. Everything was divided that way. When it comes to 17 horses, how will you give one half of 17 horses? Is it possible? Huh? Cut the horse into half, 8 and half and 8 and half. That is not possible. So how do we divide one half of 17? So then they were wondering what to do now. At that time, there was another person who was passing by the same village, and these assembled people, they were wondering how to do it. So then, because during those times it is the general village assembly who decides on these things. They don't go to the court and all. So this man who happened to pass by that place, he asked, what's going on? He said that everybody said that this is what is problem. We have 17 horses, and one half has to be given to the first boy, one third to the second boy, one ninth to the third boy. So we have divided everything except the 17 horses. So he got off. He was coming in a horse. He got off the horse. So he said, "Take this horse. Take this horse with you." So, but there is you take it. You take the horse. And then now go ahead and divide it. So 18 horses now, 17 plus 1. Now half of that?
9.
So 9. So they gave 9 horses to the first son. So the first son was very happy. 9 horses he got. He went away. So the second boy, one third. One third of 18 is 6.
6.
So they give 6 horses to the second boy. He went away. So 9 horses for the first boy. 6 horses to the second boy. 15 horses are gone. So 1/9 of 18 is how much?
2.
1/9 of the 18.
2.
1/9. 9.
1/9 of 8.
1/9 of 18. How much is that? 1/9 of 1/9 of 18 is 2. So he gave it cannot be said 1 minute. One half. Right, 2. So the remaining horses were 3. Remember. So 2 horses the second boy got.
Okay.
The final 1 horse which the man gave, he took his horse and went away. Everybody was divided properly, right? 9 for the first boy, 6 for the second boy, 2 for this third boy. It is properly divided, gone. So now, why they never thought about it before? Because the absence of one additional one which did not make them able to divide it properly. So the additional 1 horse made them divide it. But that additional horse was not sacrificed. Additional horse that fellow took it away and went. In the same way, Maya is best explanation for irresolvable mystery of this world. The mystery of this world, which is subject to change and constantly unpredictable things that are happening, you cannot understand why it is so, and therefore the only solution Vedanta offers is that is called the power of Maya. The explanation is that Maya, the indescribable power, is the cause for the whole thing to happen. With that understanding, one will know why it is happening, what is happening. But having understood, Maya will disappear. Just like the horse that are provided only to solve a problem, once the problem is solved, the horse is taken back. In the same way, Maya is an additional idea brought in only to solve the problem of bondage. Once that is gone, then the Maya is removed from the scene. So it has a purpose, but it is not permanent. It is like when you are having physically some dirt or your cloth has got some dirt, you take a soap and wash it and put it on that, and after washing, you both remove water as well as the soap. Right? You don't keep the soap because it has removed the dirt. No, the soap is also gone. In the same way, Maya comes to help clean the situation. So, Maya Mayamidam Akilam Buddhva, understanding the whole creation is temporary illusion, having understood that, Brahma Padam Tvam Pravisha Viditva, then you enter your reality. Then you enter into your real nature. Brahma Padam Tvam Pravisha. Enter into your real nature. Viditva, having understood. So, therefore, in this particular verse, Bhagavan Shankaracharya very clearly says, do not become arrogant of what you are right now, because all that one has at this point is temporary, subject to change, subject to disappear in any time. See, this is not to give a very dark picture of life. That is not the intention of Shankaracharya. And the intention of this Acharya here is to give you the facts. How you take it is up to you. These are temporary. Understand that. Now, you say, oh, I don't accept it. Don't accept it. That is not. Intention is that show what it is. Whether you like to take it seriously and work on it, or you say that these are all, what do they call that? Blabbering of the lotus eaters. That's what Max Muller called Vedanta as. It is just a mere blabbering of the lotus eaters. Only to later on realize that is the highest wisdom that is contained in the Vedanta. So, if you consider that just a blabbering, it's okay. Later on one realizes how much of truth is hidden in these verses. So, that is what we have to understand in these two verses. If you have any questions, please do text me. Here is any questions.
Swamiji, I had a question.
Yes.
You said about inquiring the validity of waking experiences.
Uh-huh.
How and when should one do it? While engaging in action, or when
Validity of waking experience.
Yes, when we interact with the world and we are, say, in my job, I have so many things that come my way. How do I inquire? What is the method for inquiry?
See, inquiry should start in your solitude to begin with. Because anything that you want to train yourself, you should do it when you are all by yourself. Just like when you started learning how to drive a car, you didn't start with the marketplace. You started in a place where not many people are driving, right? So therefore, otherwise so many people will become victims. So you started with the place where nobody is there, and you started learning, and slowly realize that you can wade through things, and then you can learn the skills of driving in a crowded place, and then you slowly got into the busy roads. In the same way, in the busyness of life, it will not be possible for it to inquire. So therefore, solitude is necessary for a spiritual seeker, so that the individual can start inquiring about the validity of the reality of things in the waking state, and then slowly that ability to inquire becomes intensified, even when one is interacting with the world. But it doesn't happen all of a sudden. It has to happen in solitude, and then slowly it becomes a natural, spontaneous habit, or spontaneous ability, I would say, not habit, for you to inquire even while interacting with the world. So, any questions? I do not see any questions here. Hari Om, somebody said. Okay, I'm not. This is when Seva Dharmana. When is that? I don't know. Any questions? Please type. Otherwise, we'll conclude. Okay, no questions so far. So therefore we'll conclude. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkhabhat Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. So next session will be, do we have in June?
Yes, Swami.
Which date? June 2nd week, Wednesday. All will be on their holiday mode, right? Or do they? Or they'll be done with the college,
I
school?
need to check that. I'll send it to my email.
Okay. Otherwise, by default, it will be second Wednesday of June, which is probably for second, 10th. 10th, right? Okay. 10th. If there is any change, you will be informed. Otherwise, it will be on 10th. Thank you. Hari Om.